6. My name's Kappa, and I'm currently hosting with.
Alias, me.
So yeah, we're looking at a great game today. I'm very excited. I know that I've been grinding out ranked recently, trying to boost my rank up my KD, but we're currently suffering. But that's just me today. How about you, Allie?
Well, I watched Bolo play today, which was not a sentence that I expected to say in reference to Pro League, but hey, it happens sometimes. And I've been watching a little bit of the Intero, a little bit of the Pangu, so casting muscles should be pretty thoroughly warmed up.
Sounds good to me. We're looking at a great game. I think we're going against it's Ohio State versus Davenport. Very excited to see these two teams. I don't know much about their you know uh chemistry, but we'll see how that goes on in a bit here.
Yeah, I believe we do have some information about those teams that we can kind of get going through, or get start sorting out here, and just kind of see who's playing, kind of see what these teams look like, starting with Ohio State.
All right, let's see what we're dealing with here. All right, so we're looking at our MVP from Ohio State, Netflix, something like that, with a that is an insane KD ratio with a 2.31 and a KPR of 1.2. Wow, this is a top tier player that we're looking at here. 30 kills within the last few games. That is ridiculous to see even here. I'm
Yeah,
excited to see what's
having
going on.
having a one KPR over several games is, I mean, he's super impressive. And then he has a 1.2 KPR, which does kind of fit into that 2.31 KD that he has. So something they're definitely going to want to keep an eye on, and also the type of player that tends to ruin your voice if you're a caster.
I'm excited. So here we have some expectations when it comes to Ohio State. According to Toaster, which was the captain of the gray team at Ohio State, he says, I think will be an interesting game as a team with some fresh pickups. We are always looking to make a statement and prove that we are a high caliber team. Personally, I go into each match with no expectations, just focused on our game and how we play. I don't really care who we are playing. We are always going to be ready. And that's some confidence. That's what I like to hear from a captain, and it's making me excited, making me pumped up for this game. So, whew,
And
that's
speaking as
done.
someone who does have a lot of experience in the competitive space, that kind of attitude of let's just go in and let's just play our game, I think is something that benefits any team that is playing. And now we have Davenport, whose MVP is Nazaru, who has a 1.39 KD ratio, 1 KPR, 47.97 SPR, 25 total kills, and a 28% survival rating. So, not quite as impressive as the tactical nuke that we just saw on the side of Ohio State, but still nothing to scoff at. The 1.0 KDR, as I mentioned before, is very impressive on top of the 1.39 KD ratio. So he is still someone that we're going to want to keep an eye on here.
Definitely, definitely, and and we can't always be looking at pure statistics. We also got to be looking at team chemistry and utility. Let's take a look from a quote from Nazru, who is the captain of Davenport. On their expectations, they say, "My expectations for this upcoming matchup is that it's going to be a well played game from both teams. OSU Gray is fortunate enough to have their main team to look to for help/guidance. That being said, we've played OSU Gray before and won. Our team has only gotten better since the last time we played them." So we're looking at a lot of confidence here coming from both of the teams. On one side, it sounds like a bit of a revenge story, actually, that OSU is looking for, trying to pull him down. So I'm very excited to see what happens here. It can only be better and better, you know?
Yeah, I do appreciate the confidence that we have from both teams. That should make for an interesting game, as does the map pool from the looks of things, with Bank and Chalet being picked by Davenport and Ohio, respectively, with Cafe being where we're going to go to duke it out in the decider if things get to that point. And in my opinion, any match where we see Bank right off the bat is a good one.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna be saying bank and then chalet. So it could end in two, considering the confidence. But I'm very excited and kind of hoping that we'll get to see that cafe map. Ugh. Um, in terms of everything else, though, I feel like, um, if you're starting off on bank is with such a strong, um, such a strong defender sided map. We're gonna see some really interesting plays from both teams. I'm hoping to see something new, something maybe I can go ahead and steal into my own games, but we're gonna have to see what happens.
We do have the game ready, so we're gonna get into the operator bans here in just a sec and figure out what operators these teams don't want to deal with. We're going to have Ohio State starting on the defense and Davenport starting on the attack, as Ohio do get to pick the side that they start on since Davenport did choose the map. And thusly, they get the first ban as well, which is going to end up being that Dokkaebi, who is an operator that a lot of teams have started to despise more and more as late round, if you're on cams, she can kick you off of them, and the ability to steal those cams or reveal you in a corner with her calls, something that a lot of teams just would rather not deal with.
Right, with those EMPs, she's crazy strong. And next, we're gonna be looking at from the attacker side. We're gonna be looking at a ban on Ying, which I mean, I personally think is kind of interesting. I love Ying. I think she's got some great utility, but seeing her banned at this, at this level is gonna be very interesting. I mean, she brings up that what she has heart breaches now or something like that, and just the amount of flashes and chaos that
Yes.
she can cause is crazy.
Hard breaches on top of that static utility are, I'd say, a good thing to get off the board, as is Fenrir. He is one of what I call the big three on defense, which are the Solus, Azami, and, Fenrir. And so Davenport have decided they don't want to deal with Fenrir, and then Mira being taken off by Ohio State, which is a very sensible ban for this map, I think, as every site, particularly the basement site, she really does excel at holding, and so I mean, as stated previously, best to just knock her off before your opponents have a chance to use her.
Right, right. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at a very classic basement setup here. We're looking at Jaeger, Smoke, Soul. It's just very normal stuff. And then on the attacker side, anything out of the ordinary? I don't think so. I think it's just going to be very play by the books, at least for this downstairs site. There's not much that you can do that hasn't already been done. I feel like.
It is a very, very popular site, one that we've seen evolve throughout the ages, as Bank has kind of been a staple of competitive the entire time it's been in the map pool, and even though it's taken out for a little bit, it has become very popular since being reintroduced. I do want to point out that we do see Nate on that Solus, which I'd say is a very good operator to give your gunners, as the ability to just sit and see where drones are, where people are on drones, where claymores are, combined with the 50 bullets that the UMP has and the monster DPS the SMG-11 has, put in the hands of someone who had a 2 point, I think it was 39 KD, as we previously saw. It's a pretty deadly combination.
Right. The amount of killing potential that Nate now has with that gun, with that operator, especially, considering their lineup. I will see how it's going to go against with the IQ. Very two sides of the same coin almost. Um, what we are looking at over here is a very early top floor take by Davenport. They're really droning everything out. And, Ohio State seems to be trying to control that first floor, making sure that whatever top down, um, searching isn't going to happen too easily.
Early top floor pressure here is certainly working out so far. So that hasn't really been contested a whole lot by Ohio. Arish is near taking
Oh,
a gunfight with a player inside of open area, but no one reveals themselves yet. Freak opts to watch the blue stairs run up, so any potential flanks
oh,
will be hard. But Mamba and Nazaru getting the first two picks of the game, knocking Dolly and Mamba off the board. Although Nate happens before Mamba, as we do see Davenport come out on top here with this trade game, and they knock out the best fragger that was on the side of Ohio. Another player inside of open area is going to be the next contest, and he's going to take out Nazaru, though he himself almost gets killed off before Chaps takes out his ally. Now we again have Davenport taking that main advantage,
ooh.
and Aresh making it even wider.
They know where he is. I will say this is a very. Oh, there you go. First round gone straight to Davenport, right? Yeah, that was
Yes.
a really quick round, just considering everything. That was kind of impressive. Um, I
Yeah, they're able
I'm
to
not one
just
to
kind of get on the
criticize.
top
I don't
floor,
think I can. Right, right. It's
get
just that
themselves on the
having that
top floor, kind of
complete.
set things.
Yeah,
You go, you go.
talking over each other. No, it's fine. It's bound to happen.
It
Again,
happens.
looking at a very similar setup. They're bringing up a different catcher. This. Oh wait, they brought both Y and Jaeger. Going up to the top floor here. We're gonna see a very a setup that's been recently extremely popularized. Holding inside that janitor closet, and getting a nice little angle straight into square here. Um, you know, we're still gonna be we're gonna see some Warden gameplay here. I personally think that Warden's a little overrated. I know that's a very like controversial take here, but I feel like without his 1.5, he's kind of useless. I don't
I
know. They're
mean,
looking at
shield on
smokes
top of the
used.
ability to Shield on top of the ability to kind of see through smokes is something that a lot of teams do value, and the MPX with 1.5 in the hands of a capable fragger like Nate is certainly nothing to scoff at, so we'll kind of have to see how that goes. I do want to mention, though, that we also have a fuse on the board being brought out by Freak, so potentially looking to cause a bit of a ruckus on those windows that are kind of along the side of the slide. As Chaps takes early space
Ooh,
inside of ATM, he can deny any potential peeks on Chu players repelling on the windows here, while Nazaru opens up that Kanto wall and just to see if he
oh,
can cut that hallway in half or potentially get a pick. But we do have the Azami of Mamba wanting to contest that and potentially see if he can get an early pick for Ohio.
definitely, definitely. But I do think that ooh, that's such a tough angle to hold there. One tiny pixel and you're gone. We see fuse on the windows over here. Maybe we'll see some fuse. There you go. I don't think it's going to get anyone, though. I don't think anyone's playing in A, but just having that noise is crazy. It's always very good. Yana shot by Nate, just the drone, though. Nothing too crazy, nothing too interesting we're looking at so far. We're trying to go ahead and create some pressure from the stock side, but we're kind of just sitting on windows and waiting for someone to move. It's like a game of cat and mouse right now. No one's willing to give up any position. Oh, but IQ is slowly making their way up to Banana. Uh, there goes the
A lot of good
cam. She got.
fearlessness here being shown by Chaps, followed up by Jolly. So potential refrag here if it ends up being needed. Mama's going to be the first point of
Oh,
contact, and he almost gets the head of Chaps, but not quite, revealing his position instead. But Dolly gets the first pick onto Toaster. Chaps follows up onto Mamba. Now they're looking for this other player inside of Trump, and the trade has to come out, but
oh,
ultimately Davenport, they do end up getting the 4v1. Make that a 4v0 as Aresh hits Janitor Hall, takes out two, and gives Davenport their second round, putting them up 2-0.
they've really seemed to play off each other extremely well. That's what we're seeing here. They know where everyone is. Where they know where their teammates are. They know where the spacing is. They know when to push up and back out. It seems like a team that is extremely, has some crazy ass chemistry. I keep saying it over and over, Ben, but the chemistry that Davenport is showing right here is ridiculous. On such a, it's not an extremely defender sided map, but it definitely has the defender advantage here, and Davenport is just taking what they can and spinning it right back into the face of Ohio State. Um, it truly is extremely impressive.
Yeah, those they're doing their best to kind of set up like multiple lanes of pressure, whereas a lot of teams do the lobby take and just kind of only take lobby. They send a Resh back through Janitor Hall in through Square, and then they still have some on the windows, if I recall, as well. So you can't just look at the main push. There are so many areas that pressure is coming from that you kind of have to keep your head on a swivel, be a turret almost. We're gonna see them
Right.
go. We're gonna see Ohio go back down to the basement here, which is the site we saw them play on round one, and that was won fairly convincingly by Davenport, though there was a decent fight put up by Ohio State. So we'll have to see how that goes here.
We see it. Goyo playing on that second floor, trying to go ahead and play the counter off of what seems to be just a top floor take. They seem a little more spread out this time throughout the floors, just not giving any pressure away or any space away to Davenport here. We see some basic droning. I think. Ooh, probably. I mean,
We
it really
do
seems that they
see
just take that top floor.
we do see a little bit more contests being put up on that top floor by Ohio State this time, but ultimately they do fall off of it pretty quickly as they just wanted to deter a lot of the early round ground control that Davenport took last time, but they still do want to fall back to those predetermined positions that they have and just kind of keep themselves intact.
Right.
Overall, solid, I would say, but we do still have to see how they play this mid round.
Alrighty, nothing too crazy going on yet. I think contact has been made when it comes to just shooting pot shots at each other. Yana will not see the Goyo here, I don't think. Oh, never mind. She definitely did. And oh wow, an
Nasaru and Chaps
impressive.
getting the first two picks of the round. The one Chaps is refragged by Toaster, who's gonna go for another pick onto Printer, but doesn't end up getting it. He loses the gunfight to Arash immediately afterwards. Now a minute left with a 4v2 advantage. Good if you're Davenport. Next target's going to be Nate on top of Blue Stairs here, or they
We're looking
potentially
at a
just want to
showdown.
hold him off. Make sure that he can't just walk up the staircase, as many players
All right.
opt to do, but instead, going to go for the squid tactic of just kind of getting out of there in a puff of smoke.
So yeah, it really seems like they're trying their best to hold now down onto the side. I think that was the main problem last time they tried to hold this site. They were so spread out, no refrags coming through. Habana's gonna get oh, but there goes down Nate. We're seeing a 1v4 situation with Cooper over here. Doesn't look too good as they do get the plants down on A. And oh goodness, yeah, they got all the angles. Let's see if we can pull it up. And no, unfortunate for Ohio. Davenport pulls up another round.
Good stuff here from Davenport, taking things 3-0 and making attack on Bank look quite easy. We do have a tactical timeout here, come out from OSU, which I think now's a pretty good time to take it as a personal philosophy for me, as both a player and a coach, has always been you lose 3 rounds in a row, you just take it. Something is going wrong, and you want to get that kind of nipped in the bud as soon as you possibly can. So, you got to take a second, either talk to their IGL or talk to their coach if they have one, and just get things sorted out, get people's heads in the right place, get the strategy where it needs to be, and then jump back into the game with a fresh mind.
Right, they got to get that reset. So hopefully we'll see a lot more pushback now that they've had this little bit of time to think about what's going on and prepare themselves. Alrighty, we are going to be seeing uh back downstairs running Kaid this time. I wonder if they're going to be really holding on to this site now that they've kind of been losing a lot of these gunfights when they're just trying to pick each other off. Um, nothing too crazy from either side of the team yet, though. When it comes to operator picks or crazy site setups, very normal looking setups when it comes to the teams. Um, I mean, I'm hoping that they don't get slammed this next round. I'm looking for a lot more picks. I'm looking for some drama here. You know.
I do think it is worth noting that this was the map chosen by Davenport, and I'd say typically in a best of three, you do expect a team to win their own map pick and then lose their opponents and then kind of duke it out in that decider. But we have also seen just a lot of one-sidedness, and I think the main thing that's kind of causing that isn't necessarily poor play from Ohio State so much as it's really good team play from Davenport, where they're making sure that they're covering their bases, they're covering their flanks, they're getting refrags, they're holding crosses, and they're doing a great job of isolating the players on Ohio State and then taking the 2v1s that they're given with those isolations. So if Ohio State want to start taking some rounds here, they need to focus on denying those isolations that Davenport have been thriving off of.
Right. It really seems that Davenport are in this is their map that obviously picked it, but this really feels like they have complete control. On some maps, it feels like both teams have a decent grasp on it, but Bank right here does not seem to be Ohio State's strong suit. Again, we're going to see another top floor take here. I think at this point they're just starting to give it up. They've realized that it's really hard to fight against that search and destroy type thing that Davenport is doing every single round, and I feel that's really one thing that they're great at is they're great at just running through each little part, getting their corners, getting their angles, and then getting people and forcing those frags. We're going to see some contact when it comes to Hisabana here. Ooh, we got the Azami.
Narrowly misses the Azami. Solus isn't sitting too far away from that position, though, so it might be the first put of contact. We have Nazru here just kind of locking things down. Rotation-wise, by open area here as the rest of his team looks to work the top floor into some pressure for open area, but we do see a lot of fall off here from open area, actually, by the looks of things, as Ohio by this point just kind of want to conserve bodies. They want to make sure that they don't get to another huge man deficit situation like the 4v1 that Cooper found himself in last round, or I believe it was Cooper that found himself in last
Yeah.
round. So by this point, everyone's gotten back to the slide, and they're going to look to play the 5v5 here.
Right, we're still looking at that Goyo holding main stairs, but for the most part, they've given up, first and top floor control. I feel like at this point, if they're just going to give it up so easily, not so easily, but they should just be using the utility downstairs. But that's just me. What do I know? We're gonna see some of the basic hatches being taken off. Nothing, no gunfights yet, but we're gonna start seeing people get on top of each other. We're looking at this main stair right here with the Goyo popping and rotating. Nothing too crazy yet, but we're definitely seeing that pressure start to come through. Oh,
Time denial
taking
being
some
played by
damage.
Ohio State here, but toasted denial almost being played by Davenport as he is worse for wear now. The first pick does go the way of Ohio though in an unprecedented move. The diffuser is going down from Nazaru though, and the man count still falls. It's all left up to Mamba, but he's not enough as Davenport at the last possible second get everything down, get into the site, collapse, and bring things 4-0.
That was some disrespect on that last kill. I'm not sure if you saw that knifing down. No, but
Sometimes you gotta let them know who's in charge.
right, right. I'm honestly very impressed with Davenport so far. They, I can't say any more praise than we've already done. Um, but I'm hoping to see a site go in Ohio State's direction here. They're going back up to the top floor, rotating to and fro. They're just trying they're trying their damnedest, that's for sure. Um,
Good to see a new site get brought out here from Ohio. This time, that top floor CEO bomb site, which I'd say is a pretty good move, as they've had trouble holding the bottom floor bomb site. So going somewhere different, getting a change of scenery, always a good thing for those kind of resets. And I do agree. I do want to see a round or two come out here from Ohio State on this half. Is the game's always more fun when it is competitive, and if Davenport are as proficient as they are on defense as they are on attack on this map, if they go up 6-0, then I can only imagine the horrors that we may see.
right, right. I like to see some fight come here. Someone TK. Let's see a TK here. No, but what we are seeing here though is that they are not as spread out as last time when they played up top here. Um, they all got their roles. We're gonna see a contest here on that banana wall. Oh, the
Ooh.
first kill does go to Ohio State as Mamba does take out Nazaru. That's their top fragger. That's their IGL out. So we'll have to see what goes on here. A floor drone down. They know where they are. Let's see if Mamba's able to get another kill out into the ATM area.
Opening kill going the way of Ohio. Second round in a row here, though previously they weren't able to convert it, so we'll see if that changes here. Aresh sits inside of ATMs. He's just kind of waiting to see if someone reveals themselves. Gets a little bit too overzealous, and he might be able to get a free pick off of it. And he does one
Ooh,
tap onto Nate,
that
terminating
was
the Terminator, but
another
and Freak
kill.
gets another one as well onto the Jaeger. And now the collapse on the lobby starts. Mamba does get a refrag, takes down Chaps, and equalizes the man count. But now the push up Banana Stairs could be
Harder.
deadly here for either side.
Oh,
Aresh ends up falling, reveals
Davenport.
too much of his back. Toaster confirms the kill. Mamba still holding steadfast in this position, taken out by Dolly, who reaches the top of the stairs, takes that ground. We got
Oh, we're
Freak
looking at a
working his way in ATMs. Gonna try to walk up behind him and keep refrags available. Make sure that Ohio,
Oh, Toaster gets another
well,
kill
aren't
here.
able to do that, but unfortunately, 1v2 for Freak.
Is it gonna happen again? Oh, he's down. No, he's not down. But now he is. Now he's down and dead. Down, dusted. We got the fuse over here. Trying to make the play. Let's see if he starts fusing out those windows. Mai's in a pretty good spot right now. We can see him droning out. Mai obviously doesn't know that. But right now, I think he got nothing to worry about. Unless Fuse decides to start pushing into sight and starts to get that plant down. I'm not sure if he has a fuser. Oh, he definitely does. But
Diffuser's surrendered outside of that Kanto window. He knows where Cooper is. Goes for the
oh,
gunfight and he
and
gets
he
it.
gets
Headshot
nice little
straight through the
clutch there.
files. And Davenport up 5-0. This time off of a 1v2 clutch from Freak.
Nice. Well, I think Ohio State definitely got some momentum there. We're gonna take another look right at that first kill, and then that one tap right after. That's insane. That was ridiculous. That was so. And then this was just dirty. That entire banana hold was extremely impressive by Ohio State. Kind of rooting for the underdogs here.
They are starting to Ohio State are starting to show signs of life. They're starting to figure out what makes these attacks from Davenport work, but unfortunately, it did come at round 5 of 6 for this half, so not quite on time necessarily, though it's not all doom and gloom, as I have seen some pretty crazy comebacks in my day, so the team is never truly out until the 7th round is won, and that's the attitude that Ohio State is going to have to take here if they do want to try to take this map.
Are they playing open area? Yeah, they're playing open area. Wow. I guess the other two maps haven't been working out too well for them, so getting that new change of scenery will be nice. But this is definitely a hard site to hold. You know, there's so many angles, there's so many entryways, there's so many points. I think. Oh, look at that Amaru straight up into CEO. Aresh has really
I
been.
just have to say, I absolutely love the aggressive space taking that's been happening from Davenport here, as it hasn't been to the point where it's reckless, but they have been getting into the map very quick, and they've been putting a lot of early pressure on these roamers and really making sure that the ground that they want ends up being theirs by the time that they need to go for that execute. And look here, that IQ is using the early ground they took to get rid of
Playing
these things that
peekaboo.
are keeping the warden safe. Although he might just get drone hold if he steps in the wrong area, narrowly avoids it, but his wall's been opened up. He's going to end up dropping down into admin, but with only a minute having elapsed, Davenport already have complete vertical control.
Yeah, and vertical control, especially on this site, is so essential. They got their space. I don't think Ohio was expecting that Amaru either. So I'm worried for Ohio here, but at least they have all their bodies still. A lot of the utility is down from Davenport. We're seeing that line scan first come out, but they know where that warden is. Got to get back for some refrags, buddy. Oh, and the damage comes out onto the warden. Nate is down and dusted. We're going to be seeing maybe another kill here as they start to make their way through the first floor. Ooh, it looks... Oh, and there goes Cooper, taken out by Freak. Another good kill going to Davenport. Let's see if Mamba's able to take out something here. And Toaster takes out one kill. I don't know who that was. Onto the Thermite, so that's their wall denial. And now it's a 4v1. Will we see Jaeger pull this off? God, I hope so.
Sitting underneath the hatch on the default plant inside of open. He has a pretty solid position here, as it doesn't look like they really know where he is, but a drone gets on him and two people walk at him. Might be the end of it. He's going to get the first pick onto Aresh here. Though that does reveal his position, has to move around, but Dolly has the crossfire on the site. And that's 6-0 for Davenport. They're going to go into the defense now as Ohio gets the chance to attack, and hopefully, for Ohio's sake, this is just one of those freak days where everything is attacker-sided.
Right, and whew, they got slaughtered in that first half, so I'm really hoping to see some momentum brought back on these attacking rounds. If not in this map, then the next map for sure. Um, Interesting pick on the Maestro. I actually haven't seen a Maestro in my games in a while. I don't know why. I feel like after his ACOG got removed, just Maestro kind of became this backline character. And they're going open area to start. Do my eyes deceive me? No, wow. So they're picking. They're going for a harder site on that first round here. You can see some really interesting setup too. I don't know. I rarely see this site played. That's just me.
It's it's a pretty common one in a lot of competitive spaces, as usually it's a tertiary site, but a lot of teams do feel comfortable enough on it that they are willing to go there as their primary site, and Maestro is fairly common on this site, at least for a good few teams, although it looks like he has a little bit of trouble getting that cam down where he wants it. It is
Yeah, he was
also
dancing
Aresh
around.
on that Maestro, who is currently 8-2, and with a scoreline like that and a gun like the Alda in your hands, it can be a pretty scary story once the execute goes down if the attack isn't careful.
I see some spray and pray here. I am scared for Ohio, but I'm sure they will go ahead and take that top control, just like Davenport did. Get onto site and get their kills. Ooh. All right, we're gonna see. They're droning a whole ton. I think this is the most I've ever seen a team drone. I think there was like 5 drones at once. That's kind of they're really
A
focusing
lot of
on
inform-
on the intel here.
Yeah, a lot of information being gathered early on here. We do see a lot more emphasis being placed on the upstairs areas by Davenport than we saw from Ohio, as they know the benefit that having control of those upper areas can give. So they want to make sure they hold on to that for as long as possible to get the first pick on a player inside a lobby. Chaps tags on for one as well, giving a 5-3 man advantage to Davenport by this point. And,
Oh, some
well,
damage.
Cooper gets one on to Chaps. Nate, or Mamba, almost taken out as well. So, a little bit better now, but things are still pretty firmly in the hands of Davenport.
We'll see here in a second if anything gets switched up. Mozzie really getting that information down. And another kill goes for Freak onto Mamba. We're not looking too hot here. Can they clutch that 4v2? I'm not too sure. And it goes down to a 4v1 as Toaster is taken out by Nazaru. Ooh, not looking too great for Ohio State. We'll see if Cooper is able to clutch this 4v1. And he gets shot down by Freak. Wow.
He ends up being caught in a crossfire there between a rock and a hard place, and unfortunately, just isn't meant to be that day. Davenport will take their own map pick of Bank 7-0 in quite impressive fashion, I would say.
That is I'm stunned. That was a very that was a very impressive game. For the most part though, it really seems like, I mean, they set up sites similar, they have very similar attack patterns. It really just seems that there was a level of expertise that Davenport had over Ohio. And it really shined through that this is their map, this is their home turf, and I know if I'm ever going against Davenport, I am banning Bank for sure.
Yeah, a lot of expertise demonstrated, and a lot of coordination demonstrated as well. We are going to send things over to a break real quick, just about 5 to 10 minutes. So get up, get a snack, use the restroom, whatever you need to do, and make sure you tune back in for our second map.
See you soon.
real quick before we get into things again.
It was, it was a slaughter. We can't deny that, but I will say that Bank as a whole, as a map, is a little weird, I guess, compared to the other maps. At least, if we're just talking purely ranked, it's not really played a whole ton. So, as we move into the next map, which is Chalet, which is like the map played among like all ranks, ranked, casual, whatever. I'm gonna be very excited to see a map that I'd assume most more teams have control over and know what they're doing. Um, it's not like they didn't know what they were doing the last map, but what I will say is that at least personally, Chalet is a lot more. I've played it a lot more. It's a lot more done, so I'm excited to see that. Um, just overall though, Davenport has some amazing chemistry. You know, just in terms of their angles. I assume their call outs. I'd love to hear what's going on in that call. Um, so I'm
Certainly
just
would as well.
excited for this next round for sure.
I definitely am as well, and we don't have to delay that excitement any longer as we are going to start the map momentarily. I believe it actually is already up, so we can get into that and get into the bans here. Davenport got to choose the side for this map, and they've chosen to stay on the defense. Chalet is typically considered a pretty attacker-sided map, so it does kind of make sense that you'd want to get the more difficult half out of the way. And then once you get to the easier half, you just kind of have to clean up what's left over.
Right, and I mean, a Ram ban coming off of Davenport. Interesting ban. Ram's such a new operator. I don't see she like changed the game overall, but she's definitely an extremely strong pick on this map, considering how much top to bottom gunplay there is. And we're looking at a Dokebi for Ohio State on their attack. Again, very classic ban. Calls, EMPs, crazy operator. I wouldn't say broken, but Ubisoft needs to go ahead and maybe hit her with a little bit of a nerf there. Personal opinion, that's just me.
Hit her with with the Nerf scalpel instead of Nerf hammer, so to speak. It's also the same ban that OSU had on the previous map. They're getting about a zombie this time, so they are going to break their pattern of bans and not ban the mirror this time. So just get the attacker known legs out of the way, and then take out a zombie who is really good on this map, especially around that mezzanine area. If the player who's on a zombie knows what they're doing, it can be very difficult to get into that part of the map. Then Davenport can round out the bans with that friend mirror, 2 out of the 3 gone, of the big 3, as I like to call them, leaving a Solace up for either side to use.
Right, and I'm kind of bummed about that Fenrir, especially on this map. He is such a strong character. Just giving that denial, that information, that so much utility, such a great gun. We're gonna see an Oryx pick here from the defender side, and also a Grim from the attack. Whew. That's an interesting choice. I know Grim's gotten a lot of buffs. I don't know about you, but I still think he's weak. So we'll see how that happens. We'll see if that sticks with Ohio State. We're gonna be seeing second floor. Nothing too crazy, nothing too interesting yet. When it comes to the setups here, we're gonna see. I'd assume a lot of roaming from that Oryx, but otherwise, I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary here.
Everything's been pretty standard so far from both these teams, really. The Grim is a little bit out there, but he does have a solid burn along with secondary hard breach charges or claymores in this case, if you want those. So, not a bad choice by any means. Plus, it gives the player a good gun to run around with. I mean, what's not to love about that? Looks like we're gonna see a lot of library pressure here from OSU, which I'd say is pretty typical for this map. As you get controlled outside of the building, you open up the office wall, you plant on the half wall, and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna see some very very standard setup here. They're not too heavily pushing. Oh, and there goes a kill for Chaps on. Oh, another kill, refragging. That's 3 in quick succession. That was kind of crazy. Davenport up one body now, but that body doesn't last for long, as OSU get control of the south side of the map, we're gonna see if they're able to take out this roamer downstairs. Ooh, oh,
Mama does get the pick onto Dolly, which gives them an advantage over towards OSU, which is definitely better than we saw from them in the previous game. So hopefully, for their sake, they're able to kind of work that into a round win. But we have seen Davenport come back from these types of situations before, specifically Freak with his 1v2 in the previous map. Going to be sitting inside of Master as his, or inside of Piano, sorry, as his teammate Nazaru sits inside of Master. Neither of them really want to get too aggressive here. They don't want to throw more bodies away, but they just want to make sure that Ohio can't walk in. But Nazaru gets the pick that they need to make this workable.
yeah. I don't, it really seems like they're playing, and like I said, a game. Like I said before, a game of cat and mouse is what's going on here. Neither team really wants to push up, but time is not on Ohio's side here. We're gonna see a slow push. Let's see. Oh, Toaster gets the kill onto Freak. That's kind of a hard kill to get there, especially with all that pressure and from with the shield and all. Oh, oh, and the kill
Frag
does
comes out.
go.
Frag comes out from Nazar here. Only needs one more to win the round, but he doesn't get it. Gets distracted by a drone. Toaster gets the swing. And that's OSU taking the first round. It was a bit hairy towards the end, but they still do get more rounds than they did in the previous game, so already off to a much better start.
Yeah, personally, I'm all here for the OSU slam. Let's go ahead and see another 7-0, but this time in Ohio's favor. That'd be wild to me. Um, Again, nothing too crazy. They are going back upstairs. If my eyes do not deceive me here. Not a big change up to the whole character setup. They're running Doc this time, which I mean, Doc is just crazy nowadays. I'm still surprised that Ubisoft let that 100 or the back to full HP thing go through. Um, but nothing too different, nothing too crazy. Let's see if Davenport will learn from their mistakes and take this next round. Again, nothing too different from Ohio State either. So we'll see.
Back to the same site for Davenport, this time with a much different strategy that looks to want to hold things a lot more aggressively. They've opened up the office wall, they've brought the Legion, they've brought the Doc, they've brought the Warden. And with all these things combined, it looks like they really want to say, just get the hell off my lawn, don't come anywhere near it, and if you do, I'm going to shoot you in the face, which is definitely a strategy that can be very effective on this map, especially if your team plays the angles well, which so far Davenport have been good at. We do see a lot of aggression coming in here from the Warden early on towards Library's side, although he does almost pay for it with his life, and he does actually end up paying for it with his life, with Nate getting the lead off pick here. And this time it isn't immediately refragged.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of good crosses here. Ohio State showing that they know what they're doing on this map. This seems to be their control. This is what they wanted to play from the get-go. With the Grim is such an interesting pick here, and oh my god, he gets 5 of his stinger now. That's wild. I've never seen one actually. We do see a kill from Mama onto Dolly 2K, so Davenport is in a sticky situation. They're down 2 people. They got minimal damage onto everyone else. They gave up a lot of ground. Let's see if they can pick up something here. And they do, with Legion getting a nice little pick onto the Yana and backing off, taking a lot of damage in the process. But Freak gets another kill onto Toaster. We're looking back even here. Getting kind of things are heating up.
Good stuff here, but unfortunately for them, Japs gets picked off by Nate. Nazar is going to look to get a pick on this piano window. The sledge reveals himself just enough to get down, but not quite finished off. Lance going to go down from Cooper here with Nate on the overwatch. No one's quite able to swing onto it like is needed. Pick almost comes out from Nate, but it ends up going the way of Nazaru. Here is Cooper's in a 1v2 that he loses. Now it's just Mamba who's downed and dead on the floor. Triple kill from Nazaru to take the second round. And Davenport have tied things up now.
Wow, that was really close. That was that was a wild round, and I definitely feel that I feel like Ohio just lost some momentum with that round coming through.
Yeah, good stuff there from Nazaru, especially for taking that kind of ugly late round situation and I mean, just playing the angles well, taking the 1v1s that he got while the diffuser was going down, and then working out into the picks that his team needed. We're going to go down to Snowmobile and Wine now for this third round here, the second defensive side. We're going to see Davenport pull out of their hat, and it looks like with the operators they have on the board, they do want to play this one quite aggressively as well.
Definitely, definitely. We're gonna see this map being opened up for the first time, or not this map, this site being opened up for the first time. A lot of wall denial here, just a lot of overall denial as we see Kaid and Mute being played with that Warden. Maybe they're going ahead and expecting that rush plant that uh, on from Garage Wall, but we're definitely going to see get some good roaming potential. Valkyrie's being brought, I think, every single no, not last round, but the other two this round and the first round was brought. But of course, they have IQ to counter that out, so we'll definitely see how this is being played. They're going for what seems to be a very normal play for Garage Wall with the Thermites and the EMP going out. Let's see if they get it. Kai just throwing down his electric charge. Did it go off? I didn't even see. I didn't know.
Looks like
Hoping
the
it did.
wall is going to end up being opened, and it does end up being open. Pixel being held by Nazar as he just wants to catch anyone who strays a little bit too far, but no one's actually sitting outside of the breach. And imagine that's just for a little bit of pressure or for someone to walk in during the execute, as it looks like the prize they really want to go after is the wine side. Good to see Dolly taking quite a bit of damage here, as he is one of the players sitting over towards kitchen, one of the players holding that dining hatch, and trying to maintain vertical pressure over the site, which is always something you want to have for this site. Is now we're going to see Ohio State move their focus in that area.
Well, we're definitely seeing some damage off onto that Valkyrie. We'll see if anything comes of it. They do have that wall open. They have such a powerful position, but they really aren't playing it. They're going for the above area. And, oh, nice little kill coming out from Mamba onto Nazaru. Can't be watching your cam the entire time, buddy. That's a crazy angle that he just pulled out.
A good bit of vert play there from Mamba, refragged by
Ooh.
Chaps though, so all is not lost on the side of Davenport. Mamba's going to look to get aggressive over towards Kitchen now, as well as reclaim that diffuser, whilst not getting shot in the face as his teammate just was. Two long angles being held by Chaps and Dolly from inside of Trophy, as well as Kitchen. Mamba, though, gets a second pick onto Freak. Dolly gets picked off as well. Everything's just up to Aresh and Chap. Aresh is sitting inside of blue here. He tries to go for a nitro, but he doesn't actually have one. Fries E-ball off of the angle. Chaps gets one as well. The plant doesn't end up going down.
Oh,
Although Aresh is killed from outside of the breach by Cooper. It looks like they know where Chaps is here, though. No one's quite revealing themselves yet. 25 seconds left for the attack to get in and get the plant down, or just win the 2v1. Chaps sitting around pre-firing, trying to figure out where his opponents are coming from. They're going to walk in and try to get the diffuser down again, this time on Trash Can. Nate moves in for an aggressive angle, and it works, catching Chaps, winning the round, and getting a round advantage for OSU once again.
wow, that was that could have gone either way easily. That was such an impressive, round by both teams. I will say there was some bodies thrown here and there, but there was great refrags overall. Uh, I don't know what else to say. That was just a impressive round. My mouth was open for half the thing. We're gonna be looking to a dining room kitchen play. Changing up. They didn't. They didn't win downstairs too easily, so they're hoping to, at least in my mind, switch things up a little bit, get things changed. Um, I think they bring out more of that really hunkering down type thing. They have, with their frost, their mute, their castle, a lot of anchors. While they're still definitely trying to hold above and try to get some roam down, I feel like they're definitely just playing for retake or playing for anti planets completely here. Not really going for frags. So
Yeah, just the strategy of waste as much time as you can, then kill everyone when the bomb goes down, or just prevent the bomb from going down, is an age-old one. It's tried and true. We've all lived through the 20-second meta, or I guess there could
right.
be some like really young Zoomers in the audience who don't know what those words mean, which honestly I envy your position if that's the case. Early drone work being done over towards office by Cooper. Not necessarily droning anyone in, but he just wants to kind of see what's going on, figure out where util is, figure out where people are. Whilst his entry is get in on the other side of the map and take that control, though not much is really being contested over there, as they want to look to get things set up so they can get that sledge inside of Office and Master so he can start using his hammer on the floor to make the life for the defenders inside a living hell.
Right, and what we're really looking here is just waiting for one person to make the single play, trying to get the utility or the information to get moving. We're going to be seeing Frost holding a really tight angle into that bathroom, and Thermite does. Did they get the wall? I think they get the wall. Getting that upstairs wall, so we got a long angle here from Castle. I assume it's the same from Frost, so we'll see if anything starts going down, if gunfire starts to happen. Eval is getting some peeks out here, sees the rotate, probably knows that they'll be holding up here. So just trying to keep it as tight as possible. And oh,
Pixel being held by Chaps on the shield onto piano window. If Ebal sticks his head in this the wrong way, he's going to end up losing it, but fortunately for him, just manages to dodge it as the angle doesn't hold true. Minute 10 left here, and we haven't really had any significant engagements, which is the way that it looks like Davenport wants to play this site, as they more just want to keep OSU out of it than get the early picks. But that being said, Chaps does get the opener. Dolly tags on for another, giving them an advantage over towards Davenport as now they look to quell the pressure coming in from the other side of the map and make sure they can't just walk in office. Toaster wants to try to get in here and get that bomb down along with Cooper, but being hit by the Maestro cam, then being killed by the Maestro, a second for the Maestro, as it's all left up to Ebal, sitting on mezzanine here. Gonna go for a peek onto the Maestro, does catch Arash, putting him in a 1v3 here, but
he's low. He's
not
one
even a
HP.
bullet's worth of HP. Any gun from any range should take him down. He looks to see if he can
Oh,
isolate a fight, but the only fight he gets, he ends up losing as Freak ends up taking it.
yeah, he got sneezed on. That was the bullet didn't even hit him. It went past his ear. No, but that was a
Gave him a
great
single
hold.
haircut.
Gave him a little fade.
Given the fate, he falls down on from the razor burn damage.
Oh God. Oh. We're seeing some. This map is a lot more exciting than Bank. That's for sure. Um, Again, we're seeing a very, Davenport seems to have adapted to this new setup of characters, really hunkering down a little, going less on the roamers. Still getting control of, the north side of the map, but but they're not bringing Kaid. They're bringing that Legion. They're really trying to, force these attackers to slow down, and then once they start panicking, just start taking their picks. And I feel like that's extremely smart, especially on Chalet, where there's so many angles you can get shot from. It feels like such a small map, but there's an absolute ridiculous amount of angles, to shoot or be shot from.
Especially if you're a team that looks to create more of those angles, that can really make getting into a lot of areas on this map really, really difficult.
Definitely,
Especially if you have a good player with a 1.5 sitting on the other end of that angle. It's not a gunfight that many people would be confident in taking consistently. Library control, yet again, is going to be the early round target for Ohio State here. We do have Freak peeking out of that bathroom window. Just wanting to see if someone reveals themselves. Nazaru as well, peeking onto the top of blue stairs. We want to use these angles they've created as well as pre-existing angles just to, even without playing a super aggressive setup, just show a little bit of early round presence and make sure that the map control being taken past a certain point is something that has to be fought for.
Ooh, and we get an early pick off of from Freak into eval. Oh, some damage going out onto the Kaid, though, from Mamba. We'll see if anything happens from that. That's not a great situation to be in, but he still keeps peeking, hopefully trying to get some damage off, get a kill. Cooper getting onto Dolly 2K. There goes down the Roamer. It doesn't seem like they're doing too well, and that's basically a one-tap from Nazru onto Mamba. We're looking at some great picks here. Oh,
3v3 now. Make that a 3v2 as Nazaru tags on for another. But unfortunately, he himself is picked off. Leaving it just up to Aresh and Freak. Going up against Toaster and Cooper. Freak sits inside a piano here. He's holding an angle onto the breach through the head holes when Toaster tries to go in for the plant here. He wants to make sure that he can cut that cross in half. Make sure that he can't just walk in for free. Aresh sits inside of the master closet, or just outside of it rather, and he holds the angle onto that canine doorway, as they just want to make sure that anyone who tries to walk into the site is going to get an early end.
he's droned out, though. Let's see if they're able to get the plant down onto half wall. They know that's going down. They know what angles everyone's holding. Let's see if they're able to go ahead and make some magic happen. Well, my doesn't know where he is. Never mind, I lied. Oh, what was there? Oh, he shot the C4. Oh, wow! Ohio State picking up a round. That was a clean kill. There was just so much going on. I don't think Lamai knew where he was. That was impressive. I was about to say that C4 definitely should have gone off.
Yeah, fortunately, gets hit by the Thatcher and is not able to get it off in time. Another round goes the way of Ohio State. I believe that would be a 300% increase in rounds, though don't quote me on that. I've never been a math guy, but they have won 3 rounds as opposed to the 0 they won the first map. You're going to see Davenport go back downstairs here and look to try to tie things up as best they can. This does tend to be an attacker-favored map, but still do want to get as many rounds as you can, even if you're on the disadvantageous side of things.
Right, and they're not. While this is an attacker-sided map, they're still not going down without a fight. They're bringing the anti-breach. They're bringing the anti-utility. It really Davenport knows what they're doing, and they're definitely not going to go down without a fight. As we see, a round started. I bet they're trying to go for the exact same thing and get that wall open. Ohio State has brought that thermite, so we're going to see if this time Kaid is going to be able to hold the garage wall. Oh, I think he might.
You're going to see the tough decayed trick coming out here, though it is going to get Thatchered multiple times, so no way that is going to be getting off. And the wall's going to get open. Dolly gets picked off as well early on by Mamba, who's been super good in these opening duels so far this map.
That's a crazy angle. Sorry, forgive me. I'm just in awe. That's like across the map.
We've seen him hit a few shots like that so far, as certainly a hot hand on this map, and it's been something that's been highly beneficial to Ohio State in the 3 rounds that they've won so far. We're going to see the Warden and the Oryx sitting inside of Trophy and Kitchen, respectively, just looking to hold on to this second floor, as they are playing with the hatch open, which means that if top floor is taken by the attackers, then they can just kind of drop down onto the hatch or just prevent some rotates with the hatch.
That's some damage onto Mamba.
Aresh is going to look to get a little bit aggressive here, but nothing comes of it just yet, as it's more just applying pressure by this point.
Oh, Warden's gadget being used for the first time in human history. Let's see if he does something with it. He gets some damage off onto Mamba. Whew. That man is, Razor Burn could take him out at this point.
Then we're going to see Thermite sitting outside of that open breach in snow. E-Ball's going to look to get a plant on Trash Can, I believe, but the Mamba, are going to get taken out here. 4v2 in favor of OSU. Make that a 3v2, then a 3v1 as Cooper is down. It's all left up to Nate now as he's going to look to walk down main stairs and just see what fights he can take, see what ones he can isolate. He isolates the one onto Freak first before going back up top floor, but Chaps has that on lock. Number 3v3 to end off the first half of Chalet.
That just feels unlucky to me. Wow. Oh, we're now on an attack. I didn't even notice. These rounds have been going so fast. All right, so now that we're past that defending round with Davenport now on attack, I'm excited to see what they have for us. Considering that attack is, this map is attack sided, so we'll definitely have to see what it comes down to. Little, I wouldn't say very different when it comes to setting up side. They're bringing the Solus though, or Ohio State's bringing Solus, so that's nice and good to see. As you were saying, part of the big three of defenders. I'm gonna start picking up that term. I like it. I like it a lot. It's good. Um, but in terms of site setup, it's just very classic. Nothing too crazy. Nothing extreme. So
Solus being brought out. Just looking for drones. He's not able to shoot many of them as Davenport have kept them pretty safely outside of the map so far for the specific reason of there being a Solus. But he is kind of able to get an idea of where the attack is going to come from based off of where those drones are placed in the prep phase. So information that will definitely come in handy. Nazar going to drone inside of library here now as his team wants control of it in the early round. Just make sure no one's tucked away, no one's on mezzanine, and no one's on top blue. They do see the Solus at the top of blue stairs as she takes out 2 drones while over there. Gonna get back into the site now if at all possible, which it certainly is. And we're also going to have a player walking up blue stairs. So a couple different lanes of entry being taken up here by Davenport. Now Rash is going to situate himself to just kind of watch the head holes inside of office and make sure that if someone swings, it's the last thing they do.
Right, and we're going to see the Thermite get on to that second floor. Now they have sight angles open every which way. We're going to see if a pick's going to happen here. No contact has been made yet, but there's definitely been a lot of information being tossed around. We're going to see if they're going to give up any more space here as Castle out literally everything. And that's a trade for you. We're looking at a 4v4 situation now with Doc still up top. And another kill comes out from Davenport. Let's see if Doc's able to refrag here, or is he just going to dip? Yeah, there he goes. It's going down. Probably
Ohio
a smart
State
move.
decide to cut their losses here, although we do still have the Doc in a fairly aggressive position just to make sure that no one walks down the staircase while they're not looking. Mamba as well is holding the walk-in for bathroom, although Cooper does pull off of his position on solar stairs. Rush is going to drone this, realize that it's clear, then just set something up to watch it so the defense can't walk back up the staircase. Now Nazaru, sitting outside a kitchen, looks to get a little bit aggressive, and soon he's going to try to get the bomb down if at all possible. Does a good bit of damage to Nate, but no kill is found yet, as he's going to look to get into a position to just smoke things off and then start putting the diffuser down.
That would be the ideal, but I'm not. It's tough. They got. And a kill comes out from from Davenport again. Irash getting onto Nate. No, there's their strong players, and another kill from Nazaru onto Mamba. Not looking too good for Ohio State, and there it is. Davenport wins their first attack round. That was a very, I would say, last minute push, but it was tough. It was tight. FPS bug.
Oh, my favorite.
Uh oh.
So it's something that's appeared this season, unfortunately, that has kind of reared its ugly head quite a few times, and something I think we've all seen once or twice by this point. If you are actively kind of playing in the game,
Right.
um, so I think we're gonna get a replay going here in just a second. I believe we are gonna pause just so players can kind of get things figured out, get things sorted out, as we do want all teams to be firing on all cylinders as they're playing and playing at full capacity. Is I mean that's when the games are the most interesting.
Right. And so far, this has been a really good game. At least compared to the last round. that little shield drop makes me laugh every single time. He thought he had a nitro. That's hilarious. Um, no, but so far we're seeing some really good gunfights. It's a lot closer than last game for sure, and that's the type of game that we're trying to look for. You know, seeing people pop off, it's just great.
Certainly do have to agree there. And a lot of these replays as well, I'm just kind of like, look at this one. Like this is just nasty. You don't
Ugh,
see that you
that's
don't see that kind of
disgusting.
thing every day. And Nazru as well that round, just kind of getting freaky, but unfortunately his team doesn't manage to pull it back in the end. And then we have Aresh's beautiful entry play here inside of Piano that previous round. And well, now the replays are over. Still getting things sorted out a little bit, so we're gonna have to hang with us just for a second longer.
Can't wouldn't be Rainbow Six without some sort of glitch happening.
Nope.
No, but I will say though, this overall this season's been a lot more fun personally when it comes to gunfights and everything in between. It feels like a lot of the momentum has been brought back to Siege. I don't know if that's from different operators being pushed or anything like that, but it's just a lot more fun, and I'm enjoying watching a lot more of these gunfights compared to last season. We're gonna be getting our match getting moving once again. It seems that the FPS bug has been fixed. Players are happy, people are happy. Let's hope it doesn't happen again. So we are now on to
Bar
games and
games.
bar.
Pretty common sight to the point where I'm actually kind of surprised that we didn't see Davenport pull it out at all, though. It is also a site that can be dismantled pretty consistently if the attack knows what they're doing, which, judging by that last round, I would say that Davenport have a pretty good idea of what they're doing on this map. Typically, you're going to see either a kind of solar overtake or a direct take onto library, just kind of depending on how the team is feeling at that given point in time. And imagine, based off the operator choices, we're going to get the overtake. Although by the spawns, it might just be a library direct with some late pressure from the Amaru over towards piano side.
I didn't even notice that they're running a Mar. That's crazy to me.
Crazy.
I was crazy once. No, we're going to see a zombie and a Mara being played. This is going to be hell for us casters. I get those two mixed up all the time. That's why I'm so grateful that we have a very simple operator name uh, for this season. Um, but we're looking at nothing too aggressive so far. Both teams are just trying to get some information out. Floors going out, and a kill from Chaps onto Mamba. Davenport looking at an early pick here. And another kill comes out from Freak onto Toaster. We are looking at a 5v3 situation right now, and we haven't even entered the building, really. Nothing's crazy been going on.
Haven't even seen a ton
See,
of util clear, and people are already hitting the floor. We're going to see a flank come out from Nate here as he's hoping that he can walk up behind the attackers here and make them atone for their sins, so to speak. But Dolly has that red. Now it's just left up to Cooper and up to Ebal. Both in fairly isolated positions. Cooper can be cut up pretty easily here, and it looks like he's going to be as Ebal is taken out by Chaps, who's had a lot of impact on this round in the frag department. They don't know where Cooper
right.
is from the looks of things, although they might, judging by that pre-fire, so he might have something going for him. Does manage to get the first pick onto Nazru, but immediately refragged by Aresh coming out of that 45 hallway. And so far, Davenport bringing back that beautiful attack play that they demonstrated on Bank.
Right. It really seems that Davenport has attack on lock. They have crosses, they have angles, they know what to do. And I really feel like that means that they are great droners. They have great info at all times. And it's, I don't know, maybe they got the jinxie hearing or something, something like that. But they are hitting their heads. They know where people are. And I'd assume they got great communication or, or maybe telepathy or something like that. I don't know. But we're looking now at a kitchen and dining hold from Ohio State. Let's see if they'll be able to hold this site that they slammed a few times on the side, if I remember. They got at least one round, I'm pretty sure.
They did have at least one fairly convincing round, if I recall, though I'm not 100% sure. It's been a lot to keep track of this map. 8 rounds have elapsed so far, with us going into the ninth, and each one has been more interesting than the last. So, keeping it all straight in my brain is not the easiest of things, especially since my notebook that I'd usually be keeping track of things in has run out of paper, so just
No,
getting
that's okay.
everything off of the dome. Looks like a lot of
I'll buy you
library
one.
pressure coming out here from Ohio, or from Davenport, excuse me, fairly early on, as we saw from Ohio do quite a bit as well, which I think does make sense for this map, as it's a very versatile part of the map, especially if you get a pick, which Davenport almost do onto Mamba.
Right, that damage on Tamamba is crucial. Solus is such an annoying character. She has so much utility and so much power and strength. We're gonna see a quick fireplace take by Davenport. They really have control of the south side of this map. Um, so let's see if they're able to push up, get Ebel off that long angle into piano, and just get the utility down. It seems like they're getting that upstairs wall first. Let's see if anything comes of it, and then maybe they're gonna get the wall under and get a free plant. But we'll have to see some information, some droning onto Eval. They know where he is. They're trying to take that frag. Let's see if they can get a cross going. That nade comes out and they push up. Oh, almost drops right into that frost trap, but gets the kill, downing the man and then ending him. And we're seeing another refrag, and but a refrag of a refrag of a refrag, that's for sure. A lot of info and more damage coming from Mamba onto Chaps. They should have gotten them when they could have. Now they're back to full HP, and we're in a 3v3 situation.
Not bad positioning, or really not a bad position for either team, at least not absurdly so thus far. So really is still anybody's game. Good to see Mamba look to get back to the side here as soon as possible, or potentially lurk around for another pick if he can. Nate almost ends up biting the dust, and the dock is off of the board now, so there will be no heals. Nazar is going to look to try to get the bomb down here on the dining table like he did the last time. Now we're going to have Mamba back on the site as well, so things are starting to look up for Ohio before Davenport crushes their dreams and gets a pick onto Mamba. Almost another onto a player inside of West Main, but doesn't happen quite yet. Potential flank coming out from one of the site players as well, which, if not read into, could potentially be dangerous.
We'll see here as the plant goes down, but Toaster is able to get a single pick and another pick. Diffuser is down. We will see if this 1v2 happens. They have an interesting angle above. Let's see if. Oh, yeah, they got to flush him out from above. This is not looking great for Ohio. We'll see if Davenport is able to go ahead and clutch this up. They have the diffuser down. It's looking good. He pushes in. Coach is pushing in. We're going to see on the half wall, See if something happens. And he gets a kill. And another kill! They're able to clutch it up. Oh my god, that was crazy. Davenport able to clutch that up, making it a 6-3 rounds.
Great
Wow,
positioning there. Great positioning there from Dolly, as he knows that the plan there is to have one person bait the diffuse while the other covers for it. And so he waits till he can hear where the cover is coming from before he ultimately decides to peek, and he does it with enough time to stop the diffuser as well. We have another tactical timeout to come out from OSU, and I'd say it's a pretty well timed one, though they do still have quite a bit of ground to make up. 3 rounds to be precise. So not too late, but they are certainly in quite the pickle.
Right, right. And I mean that diffuser getting down, I don't want to call it luck, but that was impressive. Right at the last second, gets it down and immediately dies just for the Ash to be able to hold it right above. They tried their best to, get that momentum going, have the castle roam up, flush them out, get what he needed to have done. But personally, I would have put 2 people up there and just tried their best. You got so much time at the diffuser. There's no need to rush yourself to getting that kill. We're seeing the match unpause and everyone quickly pick their operators. Looking at a downstairs hold once again, the soul is coming out. Nothing too interesting. Their wall denial is going to be mute, so it's going to be a lot easier for Davenport to get onto site. At least I think so. I feel like getting rid of the mute jammer is a lot easier than getting rid of a bandit or Kaid. Or maybe they're just me giving up wall. Who knows? They are running Warden to maybe counter out that quick plant that they have been doing with all the smokes and everything. As I'm not sure if it was Ohio that got the kill, but I'm pretty sure there was a Warden who saw through a smoke and sniped a body. But a lot of utility based here. We're going to see a Mira, which is deadly on this site. Just having the ability to watch garage and the backside at the same time, so quickly is
Picking
ridiculous.
a picky man behind a mirror window is certainly not a prospect that I tend to enjoy, and so I would imagine that Davenport is going to feel the same, though they do have a glass this time, which
They're
is
going for a
quite an
smoke.
interesting pick. They're going to go for a smoke plan here, get the thermite in behind trash, get the glass doing overwatch, and then have the thermite, and then have the Monty just kind of sit and watch, point out defenders as they come, and in general, just be a giant pain in the rear end for these defenders. It's going to make using the mirror windows to effectively clear things quite difficult. We are going to have the Warden, who's going to be able to spot out this glass, but Plant is already going down here. And they are
The
actually able to get a pick on it with a nitro cell. Cooper not taken out in time. Now the diffuser is down in the site. It can totally be retrieved, but it's going to be quite a difficult proposition to get in there, especially with no smoke grenades remaining for the glass to hide inside of. We're going to see Dolly work his way over towards main stairs here as well. So a little bit of counter pressure being taken up by Davenport, even in the man deficit, as they're going to do whatever they can to take this.
I feel like Davenport here they gotta move. They gotta try for something else. They are not getting this wall. There's 3 people watching it at once. They definitely know that they have lost a majority of pressure when it comes to this wall. So I'm hoping beyond hope, they just leave one person there to maybe pick a few people off and start getting that backside pressure. I mean, we're looking at blue being completely open. No one's holding anything. I don't, I mean, I'm gonna see if Ash can get this little pick right here. No one's moving, no one's budging. They know what's happening, and Ash does get the pick off Dolly onto Nate. So we're going to see now a 3v3 situation. Let's see if they start getting that more of that backside pressure that they know they need. Glaz is holding this one angle. Mira is trapped. They cannot do anything. And we'll slowly see this Thatcher. Oh, and a kill goes from Evel onto Dolly, and now making a 2v3. Glaz, you gotta stay where you are. Wait for the pressure to come through. This is so winnable by Davenport, but they are making some really interesting choices, some really interesting plays. So we're gonna have
30
to
seconds
see
left
what
here.
happens here.
In 30 seconds left here in this round, less than now, and gonna see Freak walk down the main stairs, get taken out. Chaps does get one onto Toaster, and he's gonna have to try to walk in here and get things done. Gonna look for a pick on this player in the mirror window or in connector if he can find it, but unfortunately doesn't take the angles well and gets picked off by Ebel. OSU hold on for another round here, quelling a pretty fast attack that Davenport was hoping was going to be the final nail in the coffin, but unfortunately for them, they're going to have to fight on this next round at least in order to close this out.
And everything would have gone to plan if it wasn't for a nitro cell. That's how it is when it comes to these games. When we're looking at Ohio State, back onto the kitchen and dining room, very similar strategy to last time. This time they are bringing Castle, but that's nothing new. That's nothing crazy. Um, so far this has been a great match. I'm really enjoying it. Davenport definitely seems to have some prowess when it comes to strategy, but Ohio is holding on for dear life, and they are doing a pretty good job slowing down Davenport's steamroll. So see what happens here. This could be the final round. I'm hoping it's not because I'm really praying on this third map happening, but we'll definitely have to see. Um,
We'll have to see how Ohio plays these next couple rounds, and then overtime if they are able to get there. Mom wants to get an early peek going on to the outside, but unfortunately for him, pulls off right before getting
that was a
one.
kill.
And the timing just doesn't work out in his favor. He's going to scurry off into the depths of the map here and just preserve his life instead, as he'll be invaluable late round, if you can call it where the diffuser is. Chaps holding an angle onto mezzanine whilst his teammates look to drone out library and figure out what's going on over there, though no one is holding it at this current point in time. So he could go in and get the space that his team needs, and then start to lock things down, get flying drones in place, and then start getting things ready to open the wall. But Dolly gets the opener, gets a pick on to Toaster. Nate looking to see if he can get one from this really cheeky angle on top of the
That's
dining
a
room table, but
good
unfortunately,
angle.
no one reveals themselves to him.
That's an impressive angle. I haven't seen that in a moment. I forgot that it existed. This map is always so weird. And another kill
Ooh.
going from Mamba onto Dolly. We're seeing that momentum from Davenport stopped in its tracks as Mamba scurries back to site, maybe to get some HP from that dock. Having that dock is so useful. Ooh, but he's in a not so great situation. He's a little pinned, and you can see Solus scurrying up so Doc can give him a little bit of HP back. Ugh, that's disgusting.
Back up to full HP, Mamba will go, and he's going to look to continue his crusade to retake the other side of the map, as the attack is going to look to start focusing their attack on dining this time. They are much more wary of those blue stairs, now that they've lost several bodies to that area over the course of a couple rounds. Not doing a ton of vertical play on Office itself, but they do have chaps just lurking around the area, just seeing what ground he can hold or what picks he can get, like that pick onto Ebal. He's going to press on and see if he can get another. Nazaru, though, gets picked off by Nate, so some good stuff being done by OSU here as all of the remaining attackers rotate up to the top floor here. They're going to want to try to isolate this Doc and then walk down the solar stairs, get the execute going. Though Doc is going to take out one, he's going to take out two. It's just left up to Freak here on that top floor.
Seeing Ohio State put up a great fight. Let's see if and they get it with a triple kill coming from Cooper, showing that he deserves that champion charm. Well done, Ohio State. I am excited. This is way too close for comfort when it comes to Davenport.
Holding on for another couple rounds here. That tactical timeout that Ohio took really does seem to be paying off at this point, as they've taken the 2 rounds since that happened, and the only 2 rounds they've taken on defense so far. And if they can take a 3rd round on defense, then they get to go to overtime and potentially do it all again. Though Davenport, they're going to start cleaning things up here as much as they can, getting people in better positions, and just making sure that they close this out as soon as they can. So, bit of an arms race between these two teams is, I would imagine, going to be developing over this next little bit.
Right, the momentum that Ohio State really made from that pause is showing. It shows that their mental has been reset. They're definitely trying their damnedest to keep this match alive, and it's showing. They're doing a great job. We're going to see Amira being played on the game's bar site. Such a strong position to have overall as a team. Nothing too crazy. The Amaru, is back in the game, being used. They're getting control. Let's see if something comes of it. Again, very much just holding that south window side. Interesting angle from Chaps here. Really, trying to peek for heads, trying to peek for pixel. Let's see if anything comes of it though. Um,
I think that is an angle that he held previously and got a pick off of, if I recall. So why not do it again? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just see if someone overextends a little bit. Dolly taking the other side of the map like we saw him do in the previous bar attack. He's going to be doing his own flank watch as well, as there's no one else with him to do it presently. So if someone walks up behind him, it could be deadly if they do it when his back is turned. Player falls back into the site from library box without taking any damage, so solid fall off efforts being made by OSU here. Just
oh,
over half the round remains now. No one's really super pushed out of the positions until now, when Irash gets the pick onto Toaster after he's been masterfully dislodged by the Flores. And now Davenport are going to look to work off of that and get people into the positions they need for the execute.
right, and we're seeing a lot of pressure being put onto and down onto Nate. Let's see if they're able to pick it up. But Nasser was able to pick up the kill here. We're seeing a lot of pressure here. Oh, Davenport seems to have the upper hand, but we all know how that can change in just less than a second here, especially last round with that 2K. We're going to be seeing, I think that was Cooper slowly sneaking up. I could be wrong. And another Flores trying to push out. And another kill from Eresh coming on to that smoke. So now they're out of people on the site. And another kill. It's a 5v1. Can it happen? Will it happen? The 5v1 for the round. That's it.
Fortunately, does not happen as Chaps gets the final pick there and locks things out for Davenport. Good stuff from him. And really good stuff from Davenport in general, as they, even as things get a little bit hairy those last couple rounds, they do keep things, they keep things close to the chest, and even when it is a challenge, they'll take the game.
Right, and that was such an impressive, feat of gunplay and info. I mean, seriously, Davenport, I think, truly have this, ability to info gather better than most teams I've seen. They have this unmatched chemistry that really bring them to life and really deny uh, getting picked off and everything in between. Their angles are crazy. Their teamwork is crazy. Their players are nuts. Their KDs are high. They are the perfect team. And from the full-on flawless game, the flawless map on the first round to this, even though it wasn't their map, they still kicked butt. So it was just overall extremely impressive, at least to me.
They did demonstrate an extreme familiarity with both maps and with their opponent's map as well, which is always crucial in these best of threes. And that kind of map pool is something that benefits you as you get later and later into these competitions. So something that I'm sure we're going to be looking forward to seeing more of as they go farther on through.
Right, and even though it didn't work out for them completely, Ohio State Gray put up a great fight. It was impressive no matter how you look at it. So I'm excited to see both teams keep playing. I'm hoping that Ohio State can come back eventually and kick their butts.
Would be interesting seeing the rematch after a little bit of practice is had by OSU. There is no interview, so I believe that is the end for us as the matchup is done. So a producer will be screaming in my ear in just a sec if we're wrong. So hopefully I am not.
Alrighty.
So it's going to be it for us. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you show up for the next matches. And as always, have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Bye.